Those are probably ours. Mine gets 6.
Pledge and prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would join me in a word of prayer, we may bow our heads. Father, we come before you tonight, and first we want to thank you for the greatest gift that could be given by sending your Son down to forgive all of our sins and to grant mercy to all of us each and every day, and to show what true love and sacrifice is. Lord, we ask for your blessings on this meeting. Help us to make the best decisions for the taxpayers of the county. Lord, we ask you to please watch over all of our first responders. Make sure that they safely go home each and every night. And Lord, we thank you for allowing us to live in such a beautiful, wonderful county and to have the freedoms that we do. And we thank those that have paid the ultimate price and that continue to serve in harm's way so that we can continue to be free. We ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. We will call the meeting to order of December 14th, 2023. And with that, I'll look for an approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, usual sign. Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Lakeland Regional Sewer District. Jack Bonowitz and Jim Haney, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
Good memory.
you're up.
Okay, again, I'm Jim Haney with the Lakeland Regional Sewer District, and here this evening with Jack Bonowitz to respectfully request you consider his appointment to our board. If appointed, he will serve the remainder of Emily Shipley's term, which expires in April 2027. Jack and his wife have been in the area for almost 8 years and live on Irish Lake. And we just feel that, our board feels that with Jack's leadership skills that he's learned through his work history, his knowledge of piping and piping systems, and his past history of being given back to the community, his volunteering for various organizations, he'll make an excellent candidate for our board. And with that, Jack or I will be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Just out of curiosity, you alluded to his work history. Do you want to expand on that? Tell us where you worked.
I'm a 27-year veteran of a local 597 pipe fitters out of Chicago, Illinois. Have experience in being a superintendent, project manager, up and down the ranks as we go, depending on the job and where you go, what company you work for. Duties being ordering parts, estimating jobs, making sure equipment's there, all the various things a project manager would do in any construction situation. We work on everything from petrochemicals to tubing for your refrigerator. So it's a big variety. Other than that, I could go on for a long time what the pipe fitting industry is.
Well, thank you for your service.
Sure.
And I'd like to make a motion to approve the request to nominate Jack to serve and fill out Emily Shipley's term.
I'll second that.
Well, okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for stepping up.
Okay, next up, we have Sheriff Jim Smith. Good evening, Sheriff.
Good evening, council.
Hello, Sheriff.
Well, I think I'm on the agenda for the salary contract. And I think you have the resolution. Mike, did you want to read that?
Did you want to read that one?
I'll go ahead.
Were you gonna read? Okay.
Okay, this is a resolution approving the 2024 sheriff's salary contract. Whereas, number one, the 2024 sheriff's salary contract, 2024 agreement is attached here too. Number two, the 2024 agreement is substantively, I think, the same as the 2023 agreement, except that the salary of the sheriff has been raised $5,000 to $120,515 for 2024, and references to 2023 have been changed to 2024. Number three, the Kosciuszko County Council is the fiscal body of Kosciuszko County and believes it is the best interest of the county and its citizens to enter into the agreement for the reasons stated in the recitals of the agreement, which are incorporated herein by reference. Number four, Indiana Code 36-2-13-2.5 requires that the agreement be approved by resolution of both the executive and fiscal body of the county. Now therefore, the following is hereby resolved by the council. Number one, the agreement is hereby approved by the council. Number two, the president of the council is hereby authorized to execute the agreement on behalf of the council. So passed and adopted by Kosciuszko County Council, Indiana, this 14th day of December, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the contract for the sheriff.
Second.
We have a motion, Tony, and a second, Kim, to approve. All those in favor? Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thanks so much.
Okay, next up, Health Department, Bob Weaver.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Good
Bob.
evening.
I recently had an employee, a vital records registrar, who decided she'd like to switch to an open position we had. And that individual is now after much training, a food inspection officer in the health department. The pay for that grade is at a PAT 4-4 level. The person who moved into that position has 10 years with the county. And we would simply like to bring that pay grade to PAT 4-5 level to match the years that she's been with the county.
Any questions for Bob?
Yeah, I believe the wage committee looked
We
at
didn't
it.
meet.
Yeah.
Okay. And Bob, where's she at with her training?
She's had a lot of training thus far, but it's going to continue probably for another year, so on-the-job type training.
So at this point, she's fully qualified to do the
She's
job?
fully qualified.
Okay.
I'd move we approve.
I'll second that.
We have a motion from Sue Ann, a second from Kathy to approve. All those in favor, usual sign. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Highway Superintendent Steve Moriarty.
Good evening.
Good evening, Steve.
I have a request of a transfer of funds. From local road and street, I'd like to transfer $250,000 out of calcium, salt, and weed spray, which is the fund that we buy our road salt out of, and move it to stone and gravel aggregates in the same account of LRS, which is 1169. So that's to pay for the road salt. Our barn is full, and we're coming to the end of the year. And to move that money, we can purchase stone at a cheaper price at the end of this year for next year's road program.
And a full salt barn will get us through a winter?
No, I'll buy more salt later on,
Okay,
but I can't
okay.
spend this money anymore. I don't even want to
All
put
right.
it out of this year's budget, so.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the transfer. Second.
We have a motion from Kathy, a second from Kimberly to approve the transfer. All those in favor? Thank you, Steve.
Hopefully we don't have to use any salt at all, just like the area.
That would be nice. We'd like a guarantee on that.
that.
Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Mulligan.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight I come before you to ask for approval to participate in the 2024 CHIRP traffic partnership we have within the county. CHIRP consists of three different programs. The CITLI, which is Click It to Live It, that's $19,000 for the year. The Driving Under the Influence Task Force, which is $8,000, and then SAVE, which is a stop arm violation enforcement for $13,000, with a total of $40,000 for the 2024 cycle.
Any-
I apologize.
Go ahead. I think you have the same question on that. one. Go
I
ahead.
apologize. I just don't think I had the right documentation in order. I'm sorry. I have 19,000 for the CHIRP, 2,000 for grant salaries, and 14,000 for planning and training. Is that right?
Well, that would be
No,
for
that's
emergency
No, that's KIP.
So I
That's
don't,
the
I'm
next
missing,
one.
I'm missing one, and I apologize.
On our agenda, we show 19,000 and 2,000.
So my apologies. I'm sorry.
The numbers he has is actually the breakdown that the state has sent us for each of the programs that he's
Okay.
just provided you with.
Okay. All council members, look at that.
Yeah.
The partnership is something that we've taken part in for a very long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then every year, they just send us basically a renewal with the estimated dollar amount that the sheriff's department's portion is gonna be. And those there are the numbers that they believe we're gonna participate in.
Yeah, because you have this, we have the schedule attached, it's just, we just didn't have the numbers that matched up. I have no problem with the numbers.
No.
I'd like to make a motion to approve what you
The
presented.
40,000. We have the grant proposal. 19,
Before we
I
have
have
a,
the- okay.
before we have a motion, let's discuss, get it out of the way.
Okay.
there's 2,000.
I just have 14 and
14's not his. That's emergency management.
Well, there's this total
2. No, I mean, I have the,
of 50.
So the,
yeah.
Is this what you
the
guys?
entire partnership got $177,763.19. And then that $40,000 is the amount that would go to the sheriff's department to do those enforcement programs.
Right, and these are, and the dollar amounts are all estimates. As the year goes on, as they actually go through each program, there's reallocations on how to use the funds. So it's a fluid project as we go, and it gets reimbursed through the auditor's office. Payroll submitted by Mike, and then it's reimbursed through the partnership to the auditor.
To the different units,
Yes. Correct.
the different departments that are doing that.
So the only paperwork that we have is showing the 19,
Well, we have this right here. Is that?
but the actual grant, and the girls are saying that that's all the commissioners approved was the 19.
Okay.
And the two? No?
What about the 2?
See that right there?
If you look at the backside of it, look at the backside of it, Chris.
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
And that's
But
the
then there's
only
that
piece,
list.
that's the only piece that has the actual grant paperwork. Could we not go ahead and approve what they're requesting pending it, approval from the commissioners?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And do it backwards? And that way you'll be good to go tonight.
Let her make the motion.
Yeah, all right. Do you want to make that a motion, Samantha?
Yeah, I'd move that we approve
No, just a second.
It was 40,000.
the 40,000.
And second that.
Okay, we have a
Wanted
motion
to make sure, sorry.
from Sue Ann and a second from Kimberly to approve the 40,000 with the caveat that the commissioners approve it.
Approve it.
Okay, all those in favor? Thank you.
No problem. Do you need anything further on the appropriation?
Yes, you'll have to work with the auditor's office, and,
Oh, no, we have one right here.
oh,
It's the next thing.
okay.
I mean, it's basically making the funding available to the end of the year, and it's part of that same reimbursement process.
Is it for the end of this year?
I believe
So is
that
that the-
appropriation is to get us through the end of this year.
Is that 2,000? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the additional appropriation for $2,000 to get us through to the end of the year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the additional
Appropriation.
appropriation. All those in favor?
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And Rhonda, that'll be on the commissioners next Tuesday? Okay, thank you. Next up is Kip Shooter. Good evening, Kip.
Evening. I'm here before you tonight to ask for an additional appropriation for a grant that we asked for earlier this year for the HMEP Hazardous Material Emergency Preparedness Grant. We were awarded back in October $14,000, and just asking for the additional appropriation for that grant.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Thank you, Kip.
Thank you.
County Administrator Marcia McSherry and Rhonda, you're up.
Yes, I'm here requesting additional appropriation for the ARPA for the YMCA for $100,000.
So moved.
We got a motion and a second to approve the additional appropriation for the ARPA recommendation for the YMCA. All those in favor? Those opposed?
And
Thank you,
abstain.
Rhonda.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Rhonda, you're up again.
I just wanted to say I appreciate all your help being my first year's auditor. I've got almost a whole year down on my belt now, so appreciate all your help. And all my girls in the office are awesome. This is an encumbering for $18,750. It was a missed item during data entry.
Any questions for Rhonda?
What is it for? Rhonda, what is it for?
It was for Kedco, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? If not, I'll look for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Kimberly, a second from Sue Ann to approve. All those in favor? Thank you, Rhonda. Okay. Now we have quite a little bit of council business here toward the end. First up is the auditor-approved year-end transfer resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve that, the year-end transfer resolution.
Would you like to read it?
Oh, sure, yeah. Whereas the Kosciuszko County Council has made every effort to address requests for transfers of funds at the December 14th, 2023 meeting, and whereas the year-end balances should be in the black, and whereas the Kosciuszko County Auditor is responsible for the disbursement of funds for the county, be it therefore resolved that should any account be discovered by the auditor to end the year in the red, the auditor is authorized by the Kosciuszko County Council to make transfers between accounts to accomplish all accounts to end in the black. The auditor will report any transfers made to finish the year in the black at the January Kosciuszko County Council meeting.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve that.
Second.
We have a motion from Kathy, a second from Sue Ann to approve. All those in favor? Okay. Next up is revised council electronic meeting policy. Would someone like to speak to that?
I read through it, it's pretty standard boilerplate that most everybody else uses for them. You gotta have at least 50% of members in attendance, and you can't do electronic meeting more than 35% of the time. So I think it's a standard boilerplate.
With the caveat that if you're ill, it doesn't count against you.
Correct.
My only, my only thing is it didn't address the issue that we had with regard to the workshops that we had.
It's in the paragraph, it's in the line right above.
should be-
I asked the same
Okay.
question, that's how, it-
Yeah.
Where, because I read through this
No,
quick, I must
right-
have speed read.
right above one, and then follow over to the end of that, or budget workshops, it's there.
Where, I didn't say that on mine. Oh, okay, thank you so much.
Logic says it.
Yeah,
Could have, should have been down there, but it's
Yeah.
not.
okay, yeah, looks great then.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the electronic meetings policy.
We have a motion from Tony to approve. Second. We have a second from Dave. All those in favor? Okay, moving right along. Meeting and travel policy discussion. Would someone like to speak to that?
Everybody voted for
Everybody
it.
voted yes.
Everybody, unanimous. Anyone want to speak to the meeting and travel?
Yes, I'd like to speak
Policy.
to that. I had some concerns in regards to the wording. And I just have to find it now. It discusses that if you are attending a conference where meals are provided, you're not able to turn in a meal receipt. And it really should say, if you're attending a conference where the meals are provided and you choose to eat and pay in addition to what the county has already paid for you to eat at the conference, then it would not be paid. And so I think that this possibly should be readdressed as far as the wording. I do like, however, though, that if you sign up and the county pays, and you don't go, that you have to reimburse the county. So that is something I think that people need to know, that their money's not being wasted.
Anyone else would like to speak to that, or does anyone want to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to table it until we correct the wording to make it say exactly what it means.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. So are you asking for it to include meals or food that we purchase?
Well, what it says is that it says specifically that if you attend a conference where meals are provided, you cannot submit a meals receipt.
Yeah,
But what it really should say is, when you attend a conference where the meals are provided and you choose to eat somewhere else, because what's happening is, if you travel down the night before, or you're whatever, if you're traveling before or after the conference, or during a time where the conference doesn't start until the evening, and you still have to eat, then it doesn't really say what it means. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
any further discussion? If not, I'll look for a second.
To table?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll second the table.
Okay, we have a motion from Kimberly and a second from Joni to table it till January. All those in favor? Okay. Next order of business is County 2024 Board appointments. And I believe everyone's received a copy of board appointments. There's been some changes. I've listened to the comments and are taking them under advice. Are there any that we really need to go through and read out loud? No? Okay, if not,
Are we all in agreement that we need to recreate the wheel tax committee?
Absolutely.
No.
I would like to have input in that at some point, yes. On the wheel tax,
okay,
yeah, I would like to have a committee for that.
okay.
I would not, with the economy the way it is and the costs and the property taxes. I don't think this is a good time to even consider
Well, I-
looking at the wheel tax.
I guess to me,
Well,
having the
bear in
committee
mind,
doesn't
it's a
mean you're going to
committee.
have it.
Yeah, the committee's going to look at it, and then the committee will determine, do we need to address it or not? I mean, it's basically just another look. It's not a determining factor whether we're going to do anything at this point.
And
Yeah.
Dave, you are on the Will Tax Committee.
Yeah, I did not realize, I saw that. I'm not interested in raising the thing. I still think the amount of money we put on those little small trailers has cost us money, because most of those small trailers that are used to put the boat in and the boat out are not being licensed right now.
Right.
So I would, that was my interest in it.
Okay.
You know what, I don't think that anybody is interested in raising any taxes, but I know it was done extensively the last time. We worked really closely with the highway department to find out exactly what funding we needed and worked backwards and amortized that over the different types of vehicles we had. So it wasn't just some number that was pulled out of the air. I mean, we really studied it. And so I think it was a very scientific way to do it. And I think, whether we do it next year or in 5 years, we need to be paying attention to that because we don't know what funding we're going to get from the highway, for our highways.
Can you back up and explain to me what you
My thinking?
No.
Oh,
Dave's.
Yeah, I think the amount of money, what is it on a two-wheel trailer? Is it still $60 or something like that?
No, we lowered it.
I guess at this point, with the formation of the committee is only formed basically to review what we have in place.
Yeah.
And then we can address those individual issues at the committee and bring a recommendation back to full council. Do we need to do anything at this time, or are we good where we're at? That's the only reason for the committee.
I know, but I'm just explaining to Dave, we already took care of that.
Sure,
I
sure.
did not realize.
But when the committee was
Was that before I
originally
came on?
formed,
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
my memory is when the committee was originally formed, we agreed to take a look at this every so often.
Yes.
And we haven't taken a look at it
Yeah.
now. So now it's time to kind of refresh our memories.
My only issue is, as soon as we increased those fees, the state came in and gobbled them back.
Yep.
So we thought we were going to get X, but we didn't get X. We wound up getting way less than X.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my only
That's,
point.
that's right.
And there's no guarantee they won't do it again.
Right.
Correct.
And this just holds us true to what we originally agreed upon, that we should look at it from time to time. And since we haven't looked at it for several years, it's time to review it.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll look
Okay,
for.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to know why we were,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
we thought that
yeah,
was
that's the
important.
only reason.
And I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
okay. Okay, then I'll look for a motion to approve the committee appointments for 2024.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Dave and a second from Kimberly to approve the committee appointments for 2024. All those in favor? Anyone opposed?
Sure.
Okay, moving on. We have budget, okay, now, we have to deal with one of Milford separately. The town of Milford has talked about forming an economic development commission. And they have asked that the council appoint someone to, or recommend someone to the president of the town council to serve on that. I believe I sent an email to all council members, and the only reply I got back was from Kimberly. She showed an interest, so she would be my recommendation to serve on this committee, if so appointed by the town council president. So with that, I'll look for a motion to approve
The
Kimberly.
Milford County Council President,
Yes,
thank you.
yes,
That Milford should be in there.
okay. I thought it did say Milford.
It's all right.
Okay, anyhow.
You
Okay,
didn't, but it's okay.
okay, so with that, I'll look for a motion to approve Kimberly for this recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion from Tony, a second from Sue Ann to approve the recommendation of Kimberly to the town of Milford for their economic development. All those in favor? Okay. Next up, county council meeting dates discussion.
Are we going to address the rest of the appointments that are on this list?
The back?
Well, all of the other people that we have to appoint?
Yes. You're talking the ones that are outside of our personal committees.
Yeah.
Okay, outside of the council, we have area plan. Our appointment in the past has been Larry Copeland. He is up for reappointment. I believe he is interested in doing it. Okay, Ernie, I believe I've been in contact with Ernie Excuse me?
If his appointment doesn't expire till 12/31/24.
Right.
That's the new. That's when.
I have it down here
If he's
wrong. You're
appointed,
correct. You're
that's when
correct.
it would
Okay,
expire.
we have an airport committee. Ernie, John Garber were the county council's appointments. I have contacted both of them. They have shown a desire to continue to do that. Is everyone in agreement with that?
I'd like to make a motion to approve both John Garber and Ernie Wiggins to the airport committee.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. All those in favor? All right.
Can we back up and,
Do Larry.
and do Larry Copeland? I would move that we approve Larry Copeland for the area plan.
Second.
We're taking them one at a time because we didn't vote on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't expire till 2024 the way it is. It's a 4-year appointment. So we didn't need to take a motion on it.
So,
He's just down here. It was my clerical error.
okay,
Okay.
sorry.
KCC RVC, Doug Shoemaker and Jessica Hartman. Both have been contacted, both have shown interest.
I'll make a motion to approve them. Doug and Jessica. Doug Shoemaker and Jessica Hartman.
We have a motion, a second, to approve Jessica Hartman and Doug Shoemaker for KCC RVC. All those in favor?
Does
Okay.
anyone know who Doug Shoemaker is?
Pardon me?
Do we know who Doug Shoemaker is? There's a requirement to have a certain percentage. Thank you.
Yes.
Shuey, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I believe Sue Ann addressed that a year ago where there was some changes in there to make sure everyone met the criteria. Okay, Lakeland Regional, Jim Haney will be up in February. Do we want to deal with it tonight, or do we want to wait till February?
No, when I talked to Jim, he said he'd just as soon wait.
Okay, let's wait till February on that one. Emily Shipley obviously is being replaced by Jack this evening. We've taken care of that. Mark Kohler is up. Any thoughts, questions, comments?
No, his term goes to, according to your sheet, his term goes to 4/18 of 27.
Right. Okay, Troy Turley, Parks and Recreation, would be the auditors.
Yes, he's agreed with
The auditor is in agreement with that. Okay, does someone want to make a motion to that effect? Or just want, since we don't need a motion since it's
It's the
Rhonda's?
auditor's
Okay.
Got it.
appointment, correct?
All right,
Yeah.
we don't vote on
So
that.
we don't vote.
Aggie Sweeney, Parks and Recreation, I did contact her. She is willing to serve, she looks forward to it. And I also talked to Rob Bishop, he would like to have her back on the board. And Rob as well is up, and he is willing to serve.
I'll make a motion to approve Aggie Sweeney and Rob Bishop for Parks and Rec.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve Aggie Sweeney and Rob Bishop to Park and Recreation. All those in favor? Okay, and the last one is Brock Ostrom, Peterboa. I received an email from Gail Chapman. Brock is willing to serve, and she would welcome him on her committee.
I'd move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Sue Ann, a second from Dave to approve Brock. All those in favor? Okay, brings us down to redevelopment. I believe we've handled Joni's through redevelopment, through the council committee. So she will remain on redevelopment, and Jan Orban is up and willing to serve. Any thoughts?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second, for Jan Orban to serve another year on redevelopment commission. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay. Tippy Chapman Sewer District, Kim Hathaway is up. And this will be a 4-year appointment. Am I reading that correctly?
No.
No.
Well, what says 4 in parentheses?
Yes,
So yes, you
it
are
would
correct.
be a 4. I personally know both of them, so I'm willing to make the motion that they be retained
Second.
for the Tippy Chapman.
Okay, we have a motion, a second from Kim Hathaway and Jeff Thornburg on the Tippy Chapman Sewer District. All those in favor? Okay. Next up is the council budget meeting dates discussion.
Okay, I'm sorry, on the Tippy Chapman, their term doesn't expire till '24, so we just approved them through '28?
It's only 1 year.
On the old sheet, it says it doesn't expire until '24.
Well, it expires in January of '24.
Okay, so now we're going to January of '28. It's a 4-year term.
Yeah, right.
I just want to make sure that the,
Yeah.
it's right. Thank you.
Council budget meeting dates discussion.
So I'll go. When we got the list of when our meetings would be for this year, for '24, we had exactly the same layout as what we had a year ago. And I don't believe those dates worked out very well for us because we crammed in other dates. We put the auditor's office in a terrible position trying to make things work. And so with a little bit of foresight, if we get these meetings on the agenda now, everybody's got almost a whole year, well, 6 months, to get them into your calendars, 8 months to get them into your calendars. So if we add, and if you want to still do the departments, we could do like we did this year, the two different days, but we would not be adding to their budgets because at that point, they would already be entered into what gateway the program so that we would not be able to make those kind of changes. And then on the 21st, that would be August 14th and the 15th. And then on the 21st, we would actually be doing budget cuts. So this is somewhat similar to what we all got a year ago, but those specific dates weren't attached to them. And then when it came time to do the cuts, everybody said, oh, no, I'm not ready to do cuts. Well, here's 8 months worth of notice. Surely that can get us on board. We've got time to get it built into our schedules. If you're working, you've got time to get off work. And I would like to move that we adopt that agenda for scheduled meetings.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, to adopt the 2024 council meeting dates and additional budget meetings.
Yeah.
This sheet.
Yes. That'll be for 2024.
So we have additional meetings then the second week, the third week, and the fourth week of August, correct?
Wednesday,
It's the 14th and 15th of
Right, but our
August
first,
and the 21st.
right, but our first meeting is the 8th.
That's our regular meeting.
Right, and then 14th and 15th, and then following week. So it's 3 weeks
3 weeks in a row.
in succession.
outside of our normal budget meeting, we have scheduled down here Wednesday, August 14th from 8:30 to 1, Thursday, August 15th from 8:30 to 1, and then Wednesday, those will be with department heads, and then Wednesday, August 21st at 4 PM, budget cuts and discussions. And then we go on to our September 12th is a regular meeting with a budget public hearing, and then we adopt October 10th. Is that doable for everyone?
And on the 12th, we should invite the public to speak.
Yes,
It wasn't done this year.
right, okay. If that's agreeable, then we have a motion from Tony.
Got a motion from Sue Ann, second from me.
Okay, motion from Sue Ann, second from Tony. All those in favor? Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
You're opposed? Okay. Council meeting date revision, okay, election of 2024 council officers.
You ready for nomination?
Yes.
Yeah, I would nominate Mike Long for president.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for me to remain on as president. All those in favor? Okay. I believe the ayes have it.
You still have to call for the
So-
vote, Mike.
Pardon me?
You still need to call for the vote. Some
You need to
people
call
might
for the noes.
abstain, some
Yeah,
people
you-
might.
Yeah, you have to call for the vote, for those opposed.
Oh, those opposed? Okay, so moved. Now we're looking for a nomination for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Kathy Groninger to serve again as vice president.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Kathy Groninger to serve as vice president. All those in favor? All those opposed? So moved. Any further business to come before the council?
I do have one thing. We are about to culminate a part of that opioid grant, finally. We finally got everything from the state. We got everything signed here, and they finally got it back to us. And the sheriff's department will have money to use for counseling, and the fellowship mission will have money for their building that they're buying. So we're close to being able to solve that problem.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, cool.
We have not received any additional money other than $47,000 and some change. That was from a newly found organization that was fined, and that money came into the state, and so we received it. But we have not received any additional, the annual money we're supposed to be receiving. That's supposed to come through Todd Rakita's offices, I believe. So maybe it's between Todd Rakita's office and the comptroller's office in order to be distributed out to us. Until we figure out that we're getting that money on a regular basis, we can't move forward with a whole lot of things because we can't spend money we don't have. So until we get that process rolling, we have some good ideas, I think, things that we talked about when we had the opioid committee. And so we'll be looking at those things, and that will all be public record at that point.
I would like to make a comment on Reedy Financial. I was very disappointed in the 6-month trial run, and if it was up to me, I would recommend that we do not rehire them.
Just in comment on that, I would just like to say that I've been in discussions with the commissioners, and we're going to, they've been trying to get in here, so it's just a scheduling issue, but we're going to basically schedule for next year quarterly meetings with them that will, we'll be arranging that with you guys. That'll be open to the commissioners and the council members to ask questions, for them to do their presentations. And I've spoken with them. I'm very excited about their plans for us, and I think you guys will be too as they meet with us and you have a chance to ask questions. So be looking in your emails because there'll be some stuff coming out, I believe, next week concerning that and getting those dates set, because we want to get them on the calendar just like this so that they're on the calendar a year in advance, so we all have notice of when those meetings are going to be.
I guess some concerns that I have with Reedy going forward is I think that a strategic planning committee needs to be formed. Hopefully that's coming very soon, because I was under the impression when we hired Reedy that we were going to utilize them for long-term goals and planning, as well as finance opportunities for our plans down the road. And I feel without a strategic plan committee, we're kind of getting the cart before the horse here a little bit, that we need to have some plans before we have to worry about how we're going to fund them. So I guess that's the concern I have.
I also had considerable concerns about it. I tried to find out what they've done so far, and the only thing that anybody could tell me was the fact that they recommended changing a couple accounts, which wasn't really worth $30,000. But if we don't have something in 3 months, I would be more than happy to make the motion, because apparently the contract can be canceled any month, and I would be more than happy to do that if we don't have anything in the next 3 months.
The problem is, though, the Strategic Planning Committee has to get the information. It's not technically the council's job. That's a commissioner's lane, and they have to work with Reedy. As Kathy said, they're the ones who have to work with Reedy to put this in place. And so, you know, we were hopeful that that would happen. And because of scheduling, according to Kathy, that didn't happen. And so I'm hopeful that the scheduling can be made a priority so we can have the strategic plan for our county.
And one other point, Dave, that Sue Ann pointed out, they had us move funds that we have no authority to move. We're not the commissioners. We cannot do things to the commissioner's budget without their authorization, and we did.
Okay, thank you.
I want everybody to bear in mind, we did include the money for Reedy for 2024 in the commissioner's budget. It will be up to the commissioners to sign the contract with Reedy or not. However, we can recommend whether that happens or not.
They've already approved it. And
I think, well, at the last, I don't believe that anything's been signed yet. Is that correct? Okay. So, you know, I mean, at this point, it looks like they have approved it. It hasn't been signed. However, the money's been put into their budget for next year for it. So it will be their call as to whether the contract gets canceled or not in 3 months. I believe everybody's on board that I have talked to with a working meeting every quarter to bring commissioners and council together to review what has been done and talk about where we go from here, or at that point in time, we can make a recommendation to cancel the contract. But bear in mind, it's really out of our lane of travel. We can make the recommendation. Travis McConnell.
Thank you.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, council. I just wanted to bring to your attention, and speaking of lanes, I don't know if this is in your lane or not, but as you may or may not know, there's a facility called Pearson Woods Academy here in Kosciuszko County. It's located out in Pearson, as you might imagine. Recently was the subject of the front page of the Indianapolis Star. There's been a number of incidents there over the years. I want to make sure that our taxpayer dollars don't go there and that we can do whatever we can do to hold this entity responsible, but it's really more of a state legislature issue. In years past, over the last decade, the commissioners have written letters to try and get investigations done. I can provide a list of local media articles from our local media dating over a decade that chronicle a decade of neglect and abuse by this facility, going back quite some time. Since it only opened in 2008, it's almost its entire existence. I brought 3 copies of the Indianapolis Star article for you to share as well. I don't know what you can do about it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention.
Thank you for doing that.
I'm aware of it, I've read all of them.
Yeah, I have too, but I appreciate it.
And Travis, no county money goes there.
Does anyone have any questions or
I'll look at
comments
this one, thanks.
for Travis?
No, Travis, the part that would be in our lane would be the funding.
Right.
If it was recommended by the commissioners to fund, then we would have the authority and the right to approve or disapprove. But I do appreciate you coming forward because
Yeah.
Yes.
it matters.
I'll be coming to the commissioners as well on Tuesday to see if they're interested in maybe writing another letter as well to state authorities to maybe do a better investigation than just a 11-day suspension.
And I don't know, I can't speak for the council, but I can't imagine why the council wouldn't sign on also.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Travis.
so much.
Does anyone else have anything come before the council this evening? If not, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second to adjourn. All those in favor? Thank you, everyone.